Okay, we continue here. I want to read 2 Timothy 3 and 7 again. It says, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You hear that? Learning, and never ever able to come to the knowledge of the truth, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's the truth. That is the truth. Ever learning though. Learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth, the laws of the Most High. And some of you probably never will, because you've been taught by your pastors that you're not under the law, but you're under mercy and grace. And I prove in this lesson that mercy and grace is to the saints. Who are the saints? The 12 tribes of Israel. You see? Are people near unto the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. As it says in Psalms 148:14. So, people are learning, but they never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. That's why my Sheikh Shai said this to you. And hopefully, one of these lessons, someone's going to hear and realize they've been taught wrong. They've been under false prophets, false teachers. He said in Matthew 5:17, he said, think not. That means don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's all he had to go by. Or prove me wrong. He said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's all he had to go by, was the law and the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He fulfilled how he would have to suffer and come into this wicked world that he was in, under the Romans, under wicked Israelites. What he had to suffer and come to this wicked world. Look at Acts 3:18. We're going to get understanding to the precepts. It says, Acts 3, the 3rd chapter, the 18th verse. But those things which the Most High before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, who had the spirit of a Mashiach, that the Mashiach should suffer, he has so fulfilled. See? That's what he's supposed to come to fulfill. His suffering for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel, who we are. Back to Matthew 5:17. It said, think not, don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. It said, but to fulfill. For verily, truly, I said to you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High, till all be fulfilled. Right? Now this is for you preachers out there, and you just following them, and all these religions that you can't tell me, comment. Tell me what religion that you're in that's keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High, if thou can. Verse 19 says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so. He, the one that's teaching, you can break one of the least commandments of the Most High that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of the Most High, kingdom of heaven. But whosoever, whoever it is, shall do and teach them, what's the them? The commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, which way you want to be? Which way you want to be? You want to be the least in the kingdom of heaven or great in the kingdom of heaven? That's what he said. So how are you going to tell you to do something that he didn't do himself? Did he sin? Sin is a transgression of the law. It is in the New Testament. 1 John 3 and 4. So how is it that he going to tell you to do something that he didn't do himself. That's what you preachers are doing. If you saying that we ain't under the law, and we under mercy and grace, and we Gentiles grafted in, you gotta be filled with the Holy Ghost and speak in tongues and run around the church like a chicken with his head cut off, that's the Holy Ghost? Come on now. Or whatever y'all be doing, like Geno Jennings people be doing, that's supposed to be the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. They get filled with the Spirit. He say something, he do like that, then they start doing it. And some of y'all hear the music, doom, 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 doom. Y'all get to running around the church. Man, I've seen this all my life. Define the Holy Spirit in the Bible. Because it's in the Bible. It's definitely a definition of the Holy Spirit in the Bible. Spirit of the Most High. That's why the Most High say you destroy for lack of knowledge, because you've forgotten the law of the Most High. And you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven right along with your pork chopping preacher that's telling you ain't got to follow the law. And all the rest of them that's saying the same thing. Or what preacher is keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws? Which one of your religions? Your decree is we're going to keep these laws. That's Hebrew Israelites. That's the first thing for most. We all got to keep the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. We all believe in that. Understand this, understand that. Whether we do it or not, that's another story. But we know that that's what we're supposed to be doing. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You see? He said, for I say unto you, that except your righteousness, you keeping the commandments of the Most High, shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, the one that was over the people, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. You hear that? Now you got to look at it. They was rolling with, just like it is today, with these, the mindset of the world. How the world got everything set up. You know, I look at religions, I've studied it for years and years and years and years, and I know people in different religions, different denominations and so forth, and I've talked to preachers, and I humble myself before them to know how they teach and what they teach the people, while I could be so hardcore on what it is I'm saying, to know this right or this wrong in what they're teaching you. That's why they're still caught up in, like when they had the gay marriages. They told this preacher, you better shut up or you're going to lose your non-profit status. Right? So he shut up. But he's right with the government. I thought it was supposed to be a separation between the church and the state. It's not. Y'all have these 501c3s. They come in, they got to check you out, this, that, the third, whatever, see what you're dealing with. And you have rules and regulations and that. Don't you? You can just do whatever you want to do having a 501c3. I don't think so. Because you hooked with the government. Hooked in with the government. So now, looking at that, he said your righteousness must exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, right? Look what they were rolling with. And the chief priests, all of them. They were all together. St. John 11 and 47. St. John 11, 47. It said, then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? They counseling. What we gonna do? But this man doing many miracles. Talk about a Mashiach Yahushua. So he doing many miracles. How many miracles he do? Let's find out. Hold that. Don't go nowhere. Let's go to the last verses of John. See what we can find out. How many miracles he done? He done many miracles. It said, John 21 and 25. And there are also many other things which Mashiach Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written concerning them. I don't say that. That was inserted there. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Understand this. So let's go back to the Pharisees and the scribes and the chief priests, all of them joined together against the Mashiach Shai. Hear what they said? What they said? We don't leave this man alone. That's what they say. Then gathered the chief priests. This is St. John 11th chapter, the 47th verse. And the Pharisees, a council, and said, what we gonna do? For this man doeth many miracles. See that? This man doeth many miracles. And you heard what he said? All the books of the world couldn't contain all the things he done. If we let him thus alone, if we leave him alone, all men will believe on him. What does that sound like? They want some power. They want to have power over the people. If we leave him alone, all men will believe on him, on the Mashiach Yahushua. And you see what we read about the wisdom of Solomon. How the Most High had to get him out of here. Unless bewitching of naughtiness, and it changed his understanding. It was in the Roman world with wicked Israelites that didn't call themselves Israelites, that was dealing with being Hellenized, Greek-speaking Jews. They didn't call themselves Jews. They called themselves some other name. That's why you see Corinthians, you see Philippians, you see all these different names. That was right there around him. Israelites didn't call themselves Israelites. Why he told the apostles, don't go to the Gentiles. They were Gentiles, just like a lot of you Gentiles. You've been taught you Gentiles, but you really are Israelite. And it behooves you to come back to your true nationality. Before Mashiach come back to judge and make war, and he come back as no man, he come back with his angelic power to judge and make war. And you're going to be putting people to death. In war, you don't come back with no rose petals being sweet and kind and all that. Nah. He coming back with his fierce anger of the Most High to bring people to the light or to be thrown in the lake of fire. Straight up. You got a choice to choose light or darkness. You're already in darkness. It's just going to put you in more darkness when you start burning your butt up where the worms never die and the fires never quench. So if the fires never quench on the body, he got, like I said, he got a spiritual body for you. That fire going to be burning up continually. And the worms going to be eating up continually. As it is written. But see, y'all can't imagine that because you can't really see beyond what it is that your God, which is you, first and foremost, have told you. Or whatever them demons and them spirits that's in your mind have you not come to the knowledge, wisdom, and standards of the truth. That's why they say if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. That's why they don't want you to be knowing what it is that we're bringing out, or can't allow too many people to hear, to see this, or it'll be too many people coming back to the Most High. They'll realize how we offended him. They'll realize how to love him. They'll realize how to gravitate themselves to him, that he can have pity on us, knowing that we got to cry to him. But we got to be right first. Like a brother said today, it's just a crying to him and you wicked, he ain't gonna hear you. Or you gonna cry for the devil. You evil? Oh yeah, he got something for you. He's called Satan. When you're righteous, he got a Mashiach and the holy angels to come to you. When you're doing what's right, doing what's wrong, they say, we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. He's supposed to be that rock, that foundation, that everything's supposed to be built upon. And the Romans, hear this? The Romans, the so-called white men, the so-called Italian Caucasians, who put on the earth at the time, shall come and take away both our place and nation. Hear that? These Romans, so-called white men, just like it is today, will come in and take both our place and nation away from us. That's why they were afraid. Afraid of what? Losing that power. See, people want power in hell. He wasn't. Hey, look, it wasn't. He wasn't. This. Look, y'all better understand. The world he was in wasn't no. Look, this wasn't no easy. Look what Paul said in Galatians 1:4. See how this world was that he was in. Myself, I was in it before him. He was in it, but I don't know how old he was. But at the same time, here he is now that wrote most of the New Testament. Look what he said about the world. It's the Roman world. And the Israelites being in the Roman world. Listen what he said. Galatians 1:4. Who gave himself, this is my Shai, for our sins, for the 12 tribes of Israel's sins, that he might deliver us from this present evil world. Hear that? This present evil world. Not a righteous world, but this present evil world, according to the will of the Most High and our Father, to whom be glory forever and ever. And I'm not saying that word. I ain't giving no glory and honor to that name, period, that they put there at the end of these verses strategically. And you will say you give glory. Look how they got it. To whom be glory forever and ever. Him. Nah. I don't think so. And you know what? That's the last name of Zeus. Z-E-U-S. Look it up. Most people ask, what's the last name of Zeus? Zeus ain't got no last name, just Zeus. Okay. Look it up. These are the things, like I say, we ain't studied enough to know. People still gonna do, you still gonna, that's why we in captivity. That's why we in captivity now. And can't get out because we still doing the same things that we done that the Most High said, stop doing. Stop doing. Stop doing. Still doing the same thing. Look at 1 Chronicles 16:26. See if you ain't heard this over and over again. For all the gods of the people are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. You know, they say the Most High made the heavens because that's what they worship. The sun, the moon, the stars, the comets, everything. You name it. They're looking up there, seeing it, and they worshiping it. That's why I don't believe the Most High. I believe in the dark moon. I don't believe the Most High with how wicked we are. And I say the Most High made the heavens to learn that. Look, go to Jeremiah 10:2. He said, thus said the Most High. Remember what he just said? All the gods of the nations are idols, right? But the Most High made the heavens, right? He said, thus said the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, right? So learn not the way of the heathen. So you got to look at the way they think and not think like them. They ain't got to be around you for you to think like them. They got you programmed already. Through social media, through TV, through magazines, through everything that they deal with to have you programmed to learn the way of the heathen. And be not dismayed, that's what it said, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So I don't think the Most High would give us something that we can look at, and next thing you know, we'll be worshiping. Because you said, hey, Psalms 96:5. You see how I don't go right along with what we just read in Chronicles. Psalm 96:5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. See? So he tell you that he made the heavens because the heathen, they look up in the sky and they worship those things. So what do? What do we do? Let's find out what we did. Psalms 106:35. But were mingled among the heathen, we as Israelites, and learned their works. When he said, learn not the way of the heathen, mingled among the heathen and learned their works. See? And they served their idols. So their idols are from the heavens. So the moon, the sun, the stars, you name it, comets, you name it, whatever it is, that's what they worship. So I don't think the Most High would give us anything tangible, since he's an invisible power, to look at, to worship it. Like some of y'all dealing with the crescent moon, which is the sign of Semiramis, Queen of Heaven and so forth. That's her symbol. The heathen are worshiping it. And that worship is worshiping her. Nimrod, star, the stars. You know? Tammuz, the same thing. That trinity. Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis. Whichever order you want to put them in. That's the trinity right there. All the way back to the beginning. Genesis. You see, I don't think the Most High would give us anything, since he's invisible, and he would give us something that would have us go off to be able to look at, and next thing you know, we worshiping it. Because we see that the nations are worshiping the crescent moon. Islam, don't they have the crescent moon and the 5-point star as their symbol for Islam? Nation of Islam? Yeah. So now, you brothers are following the crescent moon for the new moon, or the new month, really, coming in. I don't think the Most High would give us anything. He hit me with something when I was like meditating. He hit me real hard with that. Why would I give you something you can look at, and next thing you know, the people will be worshiping it as the heathen? But we're mingled among the heathen and learn their works. Do what he said. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the heathen are dismayed at them. And that's what they are. He's telling you all the gods of the nation are idols. Right? What he say? Look what he's saying. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. Because that's what they're idolizing. And their gods is dealing with things of that nature that you can see. With the Most High is an invisible power. So the new moon coming in, I don't think he would have us look at anything. We see it, ain't nothing there. When the new moon comes, ain't nothing there. You can't worship nothing on the new moon, because ain't nothing for you to see that's there to worship. I believe. And he hit me real hard with that. Why would I give you something that you could see, that our people would worship? Some people look for the moon, look for full moons and all that stuff. They into that. Certain things supposed to happen this new moon, that's a full moon. You know, they worshiping this. See, we gotta come out of our ways of offending the Most High. Look at Psalms 106 and 6. We have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedly. We, the children of Israel, talking about us. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. He brought about 10 plagues on the Egyptians. And you think about this, Yasharella. Because it's going to happen. Whereas a lot of things going to be going on, going to be happening in this earth. It's going to be some that is not going to even affect. Not knowing who, but it's going to be some of the Israelites that is not going to affect at all. But it's going to be going on. And it reminds me of how it was in Egypt. Most High brought all them 10 plagues on the Egyptians. Work with me now. But with us, as the Israelites, nothing happened. Nothing happened. All those plagues had no significance in affecting our lives. 10 plagues. Even to the end, he killed every last firstborn of the Egyptians. Man and beast. Nothing happened to us. That's why I say when you look at us from the perspective of all that we can look at now and go back and look at from the beginning all the way to the end. The past, the present, and the future is all here. We have no excuse. Nobody have an excuse. When that judgment come, nobody have an excuse. He already told you, you don't want to keep the commandments of the Most High, you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. You do, and teach the commandments of the Most High, you're going to be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. But our fathers, our forefathers, they lived through this. And they seen all those many plagues that the Most High brought upon the Egyptians, and it didn't affect them. And here we are in these last days looking for the utmost blessing of the Most High that it won't affect us. But some are already drawing it to them because they are already looking at it's going to happen to them for whatever reason. Maybe they feel they're unworthy, or they doing things that's wicked, that's not righteous, that they can't, certain things they hear, they run. They run away from. But you can't run from the Most High. Anywhere you can hide from Him. Even when they go into the deep depths of their tunnels and their bunkers that they got way underground. Marshall Shackle say, they're right there. They're right there. I can show you all that. It's all here. They're going to go hide. They're going to hide from, say, take us away from the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushai. Fall on us. They're going to the mountain to fall on us, on them. Ain't nothing they could do. It's all here. That's why I say we have sinned with our fathers. Psalm 106:6. We have committed iniquity, wickedness. We have done wickedly, right? Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude of thy mercies. See, these are things that I look at a lot of people. The only time the Most High is there is whenever He can be there for them whenever they need Him, for whatever purpose it is that they need Him for. What about remembering the times of His mercies? Oh man, I got many stories of His mercies. Not getting something you do deserve to get. Many testimonies of His mercies. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude. That's many, many, many times of the Most High's mercies, but provoked Him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. I mean, I think for sure we wasn't righteous in Egypt. So why had to get in the middle of this and give us the law if we were so righteous? He said He came down and heard our groanings. He heard our crying out to Him. He heard our cries when He had pity on us. Nevertheless, He saved them for His name's sake, because His name is in our name, Yah, Shar Allah. Nevertheless, He saved them for His name's sake. Don't say for our sake, say for His name's sake, that He might make His mighty power to be known. You hear that? That He may make His mighty power to be known. Y'all gotta understand, overstand this fact. That's what He's gonna do in this time. That He might make His mighty power to be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it was dried up. So he led them through the depths as through the wilderness. Remember? We went across the Red Sea on dry ground. And he saved them from the hand of him that hated them, not loved us. He saved us from the hand of him that hated us. Pharaoh hated us. He'd have lost his son. And he's saying, why? He blame it on us? Israel, don't they blame everything on us now? Sound familiar? And redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Most I drowned all of them. Pharaoh and his chariots. Matter of fact, Pharaoh's chariots in a museum in Cairo, Egypt. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Sound familiar? Didn't believe they his words. They sang his praise, made songs. They sang his praise then. They believed him. We always got to have some kind of action. Always got to, why not believe the Most High before he got to bring an action? He going to bring action on rebellious Israelites too. But look what it says. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Like it tells you in one of my favorites, 2nd Ezra 13 and 9 and 11. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces of all nations that's coming to fight on Mashiach Yahushua, see, this don't sound familiar. He neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. Look at it. Look at Isaiah 47:3. Look what it says. So you understand this power that he's coming back with. It says, thy nakedness, Esau, Edomites, exposure shall be uncovered. Gonna be uncovered. Gonna be seen. I will take vengeance, he said. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. You hear what he said? He said, I'm going to take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He coming with his angelic power. Look what he say. 2nd Ezra 13 and 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude. He saw the violence of the army, the navy, the marines, and the air force, and all forces, and the UN forces, and all forces coming together to fight on Mashiach Yahushua. That came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden renewable multitude nothing was to be received but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, scared them. Sound familiar? Pharaoh came after us with all his armies, hating on us. Psalms 106 and 11. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. So what did it say? But only dust and smell of smoke from the army, the navy, the marines, and the air forces of all nations coming together to fight on Mashiach Yahushua. When I saw this, I was afraid. So it scared him. Oh man, what is this? Of it. It is what it is. Prophecy, y'all. Isaiah 34 and 2. It says, for the indignation of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. You hear that? Upon all their armies. Since y'all say the Apocrypha is not canon or not real. For the nation of the Most High is upon all nations. Hear that? All nations, because all nations will come together to fight Mashiach Yahushua, his only begotten Son. And his fury upon all their armies. You hear that? We know the result. We just heard it. In verse 11 of 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. And his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. Ain't gonna be no but dust and smell of smoke. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, dead bodies. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. See, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. You ain't talking about where the Most High dwells. We talking about right here on this earth. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Like, you see that scroll behind me? Yeah. Like that atomic bomb that they dropped on, America dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. The heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down. That's their armies. There ain't gonna be no but dust and smell of smoke. We already know the result. He's telling you here. Since y'all say the Apocrypha's not real, here it is again. And all their hosts, that's their armies, shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. See, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea means Edom, Rome. When you read it from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, right here. It says, Edom, Rome, and upon the people of my curse, which is leprosy, to judgment. Say, so, verse 8, for it is the day of the Most High's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. You see? For the controversy of we, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who Zion is. Look, Isaiah 51 and 16 proves who Zion is. Isaiah 51 and 16. This proves who Zion is. The controversy that the Most High have with these nations against his people, Zion. Not the land, but the people. That's why it says in Isaiah 51 and 16, and I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. See that? Say unto Zion. That's why I say you got a problem with these nations for the controversy of us, we the 12 tribes of Israel, that he may say unto his people, Zion, thou art my people. You see, here it is. So, go to Revelation 6 chapter. Start at verse 12. It says, and I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal of prophecy, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. It's destruction, y'all. And the stars of heaven, the people that's called themselves movie stars and so forth, fell upon unto the earth. And you talk about those stars in the sky, they're going to keep their bright shining forever. It's not talking about, it's talking about like movie stars and celebrities and so forth, people of some so-called dignitaries of this earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs, as we read in Isaiah, right? When she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, here we go again, when it is rolled together, like that atomic bomb, like nuclear destruction. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Earth gonna be shaken. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. You're gonna have us. Even though we're free, even though we bound, we're going to be following the way of the heathens until the end. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. They don't say hide us from the Most High who's sitting on the throne, whose throne is inestimable, can't be measured. His power and authority. But they don't know him, because they ain't gonna never know the way of the Most High. They gonna say it to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's why you got to prepare yourself. It's coming. Jeremiah 16:6, y'all. Jeremiah 16:6. Jeremiah 16 and let's see. That's 6. That's 16. Jeremiah 16:6, he said, behold, I will send for many fishers. We fishing right now, said the Most High. And they shall fish them. We looking for who's really going to come back to the Most High, keep his laws, fear the Most High first and foremost. That's something I got to keep saying so that hopefully Israelites will hear this and start teaching that we got to fear the Most High. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Be afraid, be scared. You say, will you not fear me? Do we need to go back there? Said the Most High. I got to go back there because I don't think people, Israel don't fear him. That's the first thing it says. Hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Let's deal with that. He said, behold, listen to this fear. Behold, I will send for many fishers. And we fishing right now, said the Most High. And they shall fish them. We fishing. You know, we already established the foundation of Mashiach Yahushua to the glory of the Most High. We fishing. Well, you hearing what you're hearing now. But it's only going to be so long that you're going to get this. You say, and after. That means it's only so much time that you have to be able to study yourself approved unto the Most High and do what you're supposed to do to be able to receive what it is that we're going to look at. The Most High will. To be there, be protected. Because he said, and after will I send for many hunters. Excuse me. After he gonna send for many hunters. Remember what they said. To hide them from the Most High on his throne, and from the Lamb, his only begotten Son, that's not coming back as a man. It's the wrath that they're afraid of. And after what I said for many hunters, he said. It's only so much time you're going to be able to come online or whatever means you're using to be able to get this truth, to have it in your spirit, to be protected during this time, or have to deal with what's going to go on in this world at this time. You say after, I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain. Remember, they're in the mountains. The mountains fall on us, the rocks fall on us, every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. They got all these bunkers, they got all these places underground that they done built since 2000. They've been building right before, long before 2000. So when they thought 2000 was going to be the time. So they got these underground bunkers in the ground where they can drive semi trucks in and all that. So they got semi trucks and come up and go bring things into Walmart and so forth. They got these underground, pretty much you could say cities, places where they could live. They shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. You hear that? So the Most High seeing everything that they're doing. He said, my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face. neither is there iniquity hid from mine eyes. See? And first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They over there call themselves the Most High's people. The Most High said, because they have defiled my land, they have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. How you koserize a pig? How you do that? But they doing it. Having gay parades and so forth. All the things that are abominable to the Most High. Still not dealing with the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They can't even name the 12 tribes. They say they're the Jewish people say they're the Jews, but they can't even name 12 tribes. I've never seen them do it. You ask them, see if they can. You know, you listen and they hear certain things and they try and learn certain things because it's like, oh, I got to do that because, you know, I don't know it, so I got to try and learn it. But on their own, they don't know it. Or what they at in these last days? What do you find what our forefather Jacob told the 12 tribes where they would be at and what they would be doing in these last days and what they would go through? Especially them curses. Go through them curses, make it be you. You'll find that you won't be able to. You are converts. You converted to our law, such commandments. And you came up with a religion called Judaism. This is our story. Or you be talking about this. You be talking about these many, many holocausts that we received, that we read about in this Bible. Why y'all not talk about the captivities that y'all went through? What happened during your captivities? You don't hear conversations of that nature. No. But you see, what's written is written. And it's all about us coming out of this gross darkness to realize that we have to come back to the Most High so we can be part of this marriage that's set up for us for everlasting life. Speaking of that, go to Revelations 19th chapter and verse 7. Because all this destruction is going to happen. And where you're going to be at is what you do in your life to be able to make sure that the Most High, when the judgment comes, you're worthy to be here. It says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come. Hear that? The marriage of the Lamb is come. And his wife have made herself ready. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you, have made herself ready. And the things we got to do to be prepared for this marriage to a Mashiach Yahushua. Symbolically, y'all. Don't get it twisted now. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And we know righteousness is defined in Deuteronomy 6:25, and keeping of the commandments. Those that keep commandments, and the saints we define in the long route, but the short route is Psalms 148:14. to his saints, even of the children of Israel, the people near unto the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. So the righteousness is keeping of the Most High's commandments, and the saints are the 12 tribes of Israel, going to be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. That's what's promised to us. And he said unto me, verse 9, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, these are the true sayings of the Most High. So now, he told us also, since we're in Revelation, go to Revelation 3 and 20. So we're going to go, if we get a chance to, Most High will, make it to the marriage of Mashiach Yahushua. It says, Revelation 3 and 20, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, his voice, from a voice come words, his words are the word of the Most High. And open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that hath ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. We the churches. 12 tribes of Israel. So this is what we want to be. 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. And 26th verse. It says, as for the servants whom I have given thee, who the servants? I think we went over this earlier, but some people might be just tuning into this one particular video. Who the servants of the Most High? The Bible answers itself. Isaiah 45 and 4 gives an answer. For Jacob, my servant's sake. See? Jacob is the Most High's servant. And Isaiah 44 and 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen, right? So when you see servants, it's talking about the Israelites. So now we go back to 2nd Ezra 2 and 26. It says, as for the servants who are the Israelites, whom I have given thee in captivity, slavery, and bondage, so-called white man, there shall not one of them perish. For I will require them from